Welcome to Fun Vibe Lab TV, where we dive into the world's most baffling mysteries that turned out to be real. Imagine walking across a vast, cracked desert floor in Death Valley and noticing something that makes no sense at all. Scattered across the dry lake bed are heavy stones, some weighing hundreds of pounds, and behind each one is a long trail carved into the ground, as if the rocks have slowly traveled across the surface by themselves. The trails twist, turn, and stretch for hundreds of feet, sometimes running side by side and other times suddenly changing direction for no obvious reason. This strange phenomenon takes place at Racetrack Playa in Death Valley National Park, and for decades, it remained one of the most puzzling natural mysteries on Earth. Scientists and visitors alike were fascinated by these so-called sailing stones because no one had ever actually seen them move. The playa is extremely remote, and conditions for movement happen very rarely, sometimes only every few years, which made direct observation almost impossible for a long time. Over the years, many theories were proposed to explain how these rocks could move across a flat surface without human or animal help. Some believe strong winds alone might be responsible, while others suggested magnetic forces or even more unusual explanations. However, none of these ideas fully explain the detailed patterns left behind in the mud. The breakthrough finally came in 2014, when researchers used GPS trackers and time-lapse cameras to monitor the stones. What they discovered was a very specific and rare combination of natural conditions working together perfectly. First, a thin layer of water must cover the playa after rainfall, creating a smooth and slippery surface. Then, during the cold desert night, a thin sheet of ice forms over the water. This ice is strong enough to hold together but thin enough to break into large floating panels. As the sun rises, the ice begins to crack and drift. When a gentle breeze blows across the playa, these large ice sheets slowly push against the rocks, moving them across the wet surface. The movement is incredibly slow, often only a few inches per second, which explains why it went unseen for so many years. Multiple rocks can move at the same time when pushed by the same sheet of ice, creating parallel tracks. Once the water evaporates and the mud dries, the ice disappears, leaving behind only the trails as evidence of the movement. What looks like a mysterious or even magical event turns out to be a precise interaction between water, ice, wind, and temperature. The sailing stones of Racetrack Playa are now understood, but they remain one of the most fascinating natural phenomena in the world. They show how simple natural forces, when combined in just the right way, can create something that seems almost impossible at first glance. Visitors continue to travel to this remote desert location to witness the tracks for themselves, a silent record of motion that happens when no one is watching. Sources include verified information from reliable publications such as the National Park Service and Wikipedia explaining the sailing stones and the ice movement process. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe and follow to see the next story.